This is my holy Moses story of the day. I saw this yesterday. I wanted to wait almost to the end of the show to put this in here because the only reason this story did not get a monster amount of traction yesterday is because yesterday we had an attack in Lewiston, Maine. We have an ongoing, what potentially could be catastrophic war in the Middle East. We had a Speaker of the House picked yesterday, and you had a major international event with the Australians meeting at the White House yesterday with oatmeal brains. It was a ridiculous news cycle yesterday. This popped as I was putting the show together and having worked criminal cases with CIs, confidential informants. I was like, this is it. Now you know you live in the police state. Now you know why Dinesh's and my movie we put out there, the police state movie, now you know why every theater was packed and we sold out all over the place. Because everybody knows we effectively live in a police state. And what is one of the hallmarks of a police state? If you are in a protected class, in the United States, the Democrats, the far left, you are above the law. Is this in the show notes? You got to put the Bongino.com/newsletter. Ladies and gentlemen, please read this story. Please sign up for the newsletter. It's free. Fox News. FBI received criminal information for over 40 confidential sources on Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and James Biden, according to Grassley. The confidential human sources provided criminal information to the FBI related to the Bidens. CIs were managed by multiple FBI offices across the nation, including the Seattle office. But Chuck Grassley, he's a Republican, learned that an FBI task force within the Washington field office sought to, and in some cases successfully shut down reporting and information from those sources by falsely discrediting the information as foreign disinformation. The efforts caused investigative activity to cease. There's a scene in Police State with Nick Searcy that's blowing up. You can pre-order a DVD now, by the way, policestatefilm.net if you want to check it out. Up to you. I'm not pushing anything on it. There's a scene in there where he plays a Washington field office supervisor who scuttles an investigation into the Bidens. Little did we know it was exactly correct. How do you see, ladies and gentlemen, why the Russia hoax was such a big deal? Is everybody in the chat getting this? Why the Russia hoax was so important? Because they knew if they could get the American public to believe that the Russians were somehow with their octopus-like tentacles involved in everything, that every time a piece of negative information came out about a Democrat, they could say, that's Russian disinformation. You see why the IC letter, that 51 intelligence community member letter, that the laptop was Russian disinformation was so important. Because every time a CI, a confidential informant, came into a field office, Seattle or anywhere else in the FBI, and said, listen, I got information. I think former Senator Biden, Vice President Biden, now President Biden, a guy's telling me that they paid off bribes and stuff. I think this is really important. They needed a reason to close the cases out. The only reason the FBI, which is absolutely, totally corrupt, and it's amazing how we're having these attacks in the United States. They keep missing all that stuff while locking up political prisoners on January 6th. They keep doing all this stuff. They keep doing everything but what they're supposed to do, which is investigate bad stuff. This Russian disinformation thing is a plague on our country. It is allowing the FBI to check a box and close out a case. This is my holy Moses story of the day. 40 confidential sources have been diming out the Biden family, and the FBI is doing everything in its power to shut it down while the president of the United States continues the corruption. Just a staggering story. I can't even imagine during my time in the field office, if a guy came in and said the local congressman's taking a bribe, and I got a call from headquarters saying, shut it down, it's foreign disinformation, I would have been like, how so? Can you explain? Now you see why the movie's blowing up. The FBI is absolutely corrupted at the top, and sadly, a lot of people in the mid-ranks too. This is just grotesque.